there's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Not really what you would expect out of a drug dealer walking through the airport, and maybe this is why they went with this look. 22 Sri Lankan monks were arrested at the airport with a record 242 pounds of cannabis hidden in their luggage in secret compartments. So it's not like somebody planted it in there and they had no idea.
Are these the same monks that you see like out and about, and they're always trying to put a bracelet on you and hit you up for cash? Because those guys are shady AF, and I would expect exactly this out of them.
I think those are Hare Krishnas.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know my monk from my monk.
Yeah, I actually don't think...
I know that monk in a trunk.
Actually, I don't think you know what a monkey is.
Yeah, they said each of them had about 5 kilos with the total value of about $3.5 million.
So are they're faux monks? They're not real monks, correct?
I'm not sure how they did it, but it sounded like one of them was recruiting some of the others and saying, hey, dude, all you got to do is wear a robe and shave your head, and you're basically a drug mule. And so I imagine there was not a lot of authenticity in that. I would say that it was, if I had to guess, I mean, I don't know where their heart is, but I would say it's more of a front.
Well, it's like when someone cuts out, the middle of a Bible and puts stuff in there. You're acting like you're part of the Bible community when you're not.
Isn't 5 kilos a lot per person? Denny's?
It's a decent amount, I think, yeah.
I gotta understand kilos. I only understand measurements through sub. So if you tell me, is that 80 subs, Bird? I'd be able to tell you.
No, I think it's like 2 subs, right, Denny's? A kilo would equal 2 subs. Oh, more? Oh, wow.
Yeah, a kilo is a pretty good amount.
Are we talking 20 subs, Denny's?
Denny's, you need to put it in subs.
If we're putting it in subs, I'd say a kilo might be maybe like 5 to 6 subs.
Okay. See, that makes sense to me.
All right.
They each had 5?
Each had 5 to 6 subs. That's too many subs.
The size of we're just trying to figure out the size of the drugs here.
You went too big, Monk.
They went too big.
Yeah. Well, they busted now. Gotta watch this if you're vacationing in Egypt and you're watching that little snake charmer show that they put on.
Yes, I'm fascinated by this snake charmer.
I mean, you look at them and you're like, okay, they've got total control of the snake. They're playing the little flute and the snake does whatever they want. If the guy allows the snake to crawl up your pant leg, don't think he has control of the snake. One guy found out the hard way. He did.
The snake went in his pants and killed him?
Yep, bit him. And I don't know where it bit him, but it crawled up his pants.
Where was the...
I don't know if it thought that it was staring at another snake and it attacked.
Snake on snake.
That'd be a terrible way to go.
Like, two little grapes. Let me try these out.
Let me bite this one-eyed snake.
My goodness.
Where was the tourist from?
I have no idea, Virginia.
Oh.
The thing that sucks, too, is that...
Sorry.
They didn't say that in the
It's
story.
not important. Never mind. Who's the snake now?
What sucks is people are going to think it's real, too. If you're doing any kind of lecture or demonstration and you got a snake there, they're like, oh, look at that. He's doing the old snake prank. He
Well, it
fell.
goes to show, I mean, a lot of times you think whether it be a lion tamer, a snake charmer, whatever, like they've got complete control of this animal. Look, Mother Nature, it does what it wants to do. I don't know if anybody really ever has complete control of these animals.
Yeah, but imagine going to a lion show and the lion attacks the person, but you don't know about lions. You don't know about that world. You think it's part of the show.
We had that story last week in Russia. There was the fence dropped and the lion jumped into the crowd and was just kind of hanging out. Now, luckily, that one was trained. It wasn't interested in the people, but it was just kind of hanging out in the bleachers like, hey, I'm here for the show, man.
Hey, where's the popcorn?
Right.
I mean, I guarantee you at least 5 people pooped their pants.
Oh, I would be one of them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They say fresh roadkill of a deer was found in the freezer of a Chinese restaurant in Louisiana. You ever had Chinese in Louisiana, Virginia?
Many a time.
Okay, roadkill deer, baby.
Could be having venison.
It's good in there. Can you tell a difference?
Well, I mean, if you think you're getting chicken chow mein and it's venison roadkill, it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, it might be.
You would know.
I don't think I would know. That's the scary part. Well, I don't know. I might know.
Venison's a different, look, venison's
It's
not
gamey.
bad. Yeah, it's a little gamey and a little chewier.
But you might just think you have a gamey batch of chicken.
Yeah, I could honestly see.
That's not a good, when you chew into chicken and it doesn't have the right texture of chicken, it's very alarming. It's kind of like what I just did with baby food.
I mean, all Chinese food is not created equal. Some is way better than others, and sometimes you get some gamey chow mein, and you're like, what is this? Is this chicken?
Now, the owners are trying to claim it was never meant to be served to diners, but good luck.
If it's in your restaurant fridge, I'm not buying that.
My other question is, how many people are eating roadkill? It seems like more than I ever could have imagined.
There are states where it's more popular than others. Louisiana might be one of those states.
Yes.
We've talked about this many times where people stand in a parking spot to reserve it for somebody who hasn't gotten there yet in a car. And we said, look, sorry, you can't do that. You can get the spot when you have a car, not when you're a body standing there for someone else. And there's a woman who tried to hold a parking spot by standing in it. So this guy's like, no, I don't think so. So he pulled his car into the spot and he stopped right before hitting her. And she's standing there. She's like, it's not all the way in. You're hanging out. Your car's going to get hit, blah, blah, blah. And so she's kind of celebrating. So she kind of walked off because she's like, I won this round. And then the car used its self-driving feature and finished parking right in the spot.
Because he had got out.
He got out
and
and he
she
walked
thought
away.
she won the battle.
Yeah. And then the car parked itself.
That's this news. Fancy cars park themselves.
That's what you got to do. Yeah, what you got to do. There's a Georgia man who stole his missing brother's identity and then posed as his sibling to sell his home.
Oh, man. He may have something to do with his brother's disappearance.
The man's family said they hadn't heard from him in about 4 months, which wasn't unusual, but were shocked when they found out his home was sold.
Oh, boy.
The missing brother's neighbors said they found it odd the home's lawn wasn't being mowed and a for sale sign was taken down shortly after being put up. However, neighbors believe the man was his brother due to the two looking very similar.
I'm with V on this one. This sounds like some kind of weird money thing.
We have seen too many Datelines.
And the thing about that kind of murder, when it's attached to greed,
Yeah.
it seems that that person that does the murdering, the greed gets in the way and their plan goes out the window and they always screw it up.
Well, they're in a financial pinch.
Yes.
They need to pay some bills. They get into a fight with their brother. They didn't mean to kill him, but they killed him, and now they're like, wait, I can sell my brother's house and get out of my financial pinch, and I'll hide my brother's body so good that nobody ever finds it.
Well, they'll kill somebody. They're coming from no money. Then all of a sudden, after that person's dead, you have a brand new car. You've got your girlfriend's got a new car. You've got all this new stuff right after a murder, and you're in that inner circle.
How are you going to sell your brother's house? How are you going to do that? You can't unless you pretend to be him. And why would you pretend to be him if he was still alive?
Kevin, we heard enough.
We heard enough.
Guilty.
He killed him, Kevin.
They had an asking price of $199,000 on the home, so they're a little surprised when the guy just took $185,000. It's like, yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah, he just took whatever he could get quick.
They then arrested the brother a few days after the house sold and has been charged with identity theft, fraud, and residential mortgage fraud. And the whereabouts of his missing brother still are not known at this time.
They're going to find him. He's buried somewhere.
In 2 weeks, you're going to have a story. Oh, and they added on murder.
Yeah. There's a federal appeals court that upheld a 12-year prison sentence for Matthew David Kierans, who stole co-worker William Woods' identity for 30 years.
Wow.
It all began in 1988 when Kierans took Woods' wallet at an Albuquerque hot dog cart. Using his Social Security information to obtain a driver's license, he then built a whole new life under Woods' name, marrying, having children, and earning over $100,000 annually as a University of Iowa hospital IT administrator.
What?
When Woods tried to reclaim his identity in 2019, Kierans convinced people that Woods was the actual imposter.
Oh, my gosh.
Then Woods spent 428 days in jail and 147 days in a mental hospital before DNA evidence in 2023 proved he was right.
They waited that long to test that man's DNA?
He spent like 2 years of his life in jail and mental hospitals because they thought he was cuckoo, trying to say he was a guy that he really was.
Did they have the worst lawyer ever representing him?
Wow.
Now that should be a documentary.
Yes.
Kieran's then pled guilty to aggravated identity theft and making false statements, and now Woods works as a landscaper in Albuquerque and plans to seek compensation for wrongful incarceration.
You should. You should sue everybody that locked you up. That was over a year and 2 years. Like, what the hell?
That is pretty wild.
I
isn't it?
would watch a documentary on that.
I would too. That's a great story.
Dang, man. There you go. Well, that is a pretty tough story to beat, so we'll shut it down with that. That's your whacked out news, y'all.